What aspects of a man's life are most women unaware of? The periods between interactions. We are usually alone, lonely and depressed as absolute fuck. But during interactions you'll never know because we don't want to appear vulnerable. Or am I self-projecting here? A compliment really makes an impression. A girl told me that she thought it looked nice when I had my hair a certain way. I've had that hairstyle for one stroke 2 years now. Shrinkage while running. Is that just me? How much pure emotional strength it takes to not fix your balls when they stick to your leg in public. Sometimes we stare into the distance which just so happens to be the same direction your boobs are. So personally this happens a lot, and when I realize I just look away really quick. The number of times a day our sack sticks to our leg. I find just because I'm bearded and sort of thick I'm expected to be ultra masculine, dominant and in control. I just wanna dress nice sometimes and play video games and pet my cat. How utterly socially alone we are sometimes. Most women seem to have many friends that they could call on in a second to provide deep emotional support. No guy friend has ever put their arm around me and told me it's going to be okay. I don't know any man I could cry to or just be with if I'm feeling down and desperate. Sure, we can relate. And we can complain to each other. We can go out for a drink and talk and listen to problems and give solid advice and be there for the other guy. It doesn't seem the same as the emotional support I see men or women have. It's an incredible gift to be able to let yourself go. Shaving your face and neck sucks. Sensitive skin havers especially. Every time you work out your schlong flops around and usually sticks up in the most uncomfortable position possible, which also looks very suspicious. Just how disposable the world at large sees us as. We're likely to have a self-image problem the same way girls do. My girlfriend set up Bumble for our friend who got divorced, and was genuinely surprised that he didn't have any responses from the matches she picked out within a few hours because she's so used to girls getting bombarded on dating apps. You know the giant purse you are not paying attention to on public transit? It keeps poking me in the ass. We love cute things, but expressing it makes us look like creeps. We like hugs too. Random boners. Between the ages of like 11-20, a bloke can have a completely random boner at any time. They don't have to see or do anything that stimulates them. It just happens. That lad in your class who refused to stand at the front to do his presentation today? Ask him again in 5 minutes. We're insecure too. The loneliness. Both the good and bad sides of it. I love being alone. I hate being lonely. It takes emotional energy to listen to someone vent about problems that are not solvable. The amount of masturbation we do, even when in long-term relationships. I fucking love it when my woman pets my head and plays with my hair. As a big, tall guy with male resting bitch face, it both A. sucks that people seem scared, intimidated by me sometimes. I don't want to harm you or anyone else. And B. sucks that drunk guys want to fight me for no reason sometimes. I don't want to fight. I don't think I'm good at it. Leave me alone please. Obligatory edit. Damn. This blew up more than any comment I've ever made. You all seem cool. Have a nice night. Most men would absolutely fucking love to be a house husband, but would probably never admit it to anyone, including themselves. Seriously, think about it. Suppose your wife, or husband, earned enough money and enjoyed their job enough that you could stay at home and contribute things other than money. You could spend all day doing awesome projects that you can enjoy with your spouse. Build a deck. Fix up a cool car. Learn a new language so you can take your spouse and or family on an amazing vacation for cheap. Learn a new style of cooking. You could have a part-time job doing something you actually give a shit about. You could volunteer. You could quit if it starts to suck. You could start a small business without having to worry too much about failing. You could be in a band. You could brew beer. You could have a garden. You could get back in shape. If you have a kid, you could take the kid camping whenever you wanted. You could read your favorite books with them. Watch your favorite movies. Play your favorite video games. You could make sure they don't grow up to be assholes. If your best buddies were house husbands or wives, you might actually get to hang out with them. The downside is, it's just not financially possible for most people. Coming from a man, if a girl smiles at me, I will remember that smile for a long time. The loneliness. I went to the loo, not because I needed a piss, but because I just needed a minute to cry it out. I'm not allowed to do that in front of another person. God forbid in public. No Karen. It's not a case of being a man, it's a case of trying not to develop suicidal tendencies. We can't talk about our problems and we're only allowed to cry if our mum dies or something. It's bullshit. As a single mom, I completely forgot that men have to shave their face until my then 18-year-old son was getting ready for a date. He had missed shaving under the jaw corners, and when I pointed it out, he sighed and said, "Well, I learned to shave from the TV commercials. What do you expect, OF?" We very rarely get compliments, and if we do, we remember them for the rest of our lives. Tired boners. Half the time when I'm forcing myself to stay awake for one reason or another, I get an erection I could use to break Captain America's shield, and it has absolutely nothing to do with being turned on. Never judge a man's dick till it's hard. Some grow a lot. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.